What's up, guys? Somebody comment below and tell me if you can hear me. I think we've got pretty much got a good kind of grip on this new software, and it usually works. I think we're in good shape. Kid Cat already preemptively hit us with the super chat. Thank you, Kid Cat. I super appreciate it. We've got some hitters in here right now. We've got Ian Maskell. We've got CJ, who's always first, Mr. Sendo. We got Xavier ID in the house. My man Ezra. My man Ezra says he just got back from Paris. He went to the Olympics. Man, that is a big time redemption, Ezra. Good job. Mojo, happy Thursday. So, how far will Joe Burrow, you think, take them? Well, here's the deal, Mojo, with Joe Burrow. I'm a Bengals fan. I think Joe Burrow is a touch overrated, but as long as he is there, we have a chance to win that game. So as long as he's playing, we can win any game. All right, CJ says he can hear us. Nice. We already have a bunch of people in here. Guys, I'm sorry I didn't promote this like I normally do and give you guys a few days heads up, but you know how life is. It gets super, super busy sometimes. The Platinum OG. I haven't heard from you in a while, man. Says he's been going hard in the paint, currently working on 3 intro bonuses. That is hardcore, Mr. Platinum OG. Watch of the day, Daniel Vasquez. We have, my arm doesn't bend that way, but we have the Tudor Pelagos or Pelagos, however you want to. I usually listen to these Scottish dudes, so they say Pelagos. So this one's like 500 meters of water resistance, for those super deep dives I go on. I can't even get my ears wet. That's how much of a non-diver I am. But love the watch. Eric Harper. What? You just moved on me. Eric Harper. Where we go here? I think he said Joe Burrow didn't look good. Doesn't matter. Oh, he just moved again. Oh, Burrow didn't look good at our joint practice. He's not a champion at practicing. He's a champion at playing. I think he's going to be, but like I said, I think he's overrated. Hot take. This is my prediction for Mr. Joe Burrow. He's going to play half the games he signed to. How many state NFL games are you attending this year? That's a good question because we were supposed to do a couple of them, and I don't know if we're going to do any. We're in a position right now where we really need to kind of reel in spending and reel in the traveling because we have a pretty crazy 2025. So if we do one, I'm not sure, man. If we do one, it might be Carolina. We can drive there. There's also a chance we go to Nashville. I'm not a Nashville fan, but we might want to go to that one. Oh, Daniel Vasquez got a Pelagos left-hand drive, wrong hand drive. Nice. Very good taste, sir. So, guys, clear my throat a little bit. I actually wrote a video. I scripted the whole video, and then I kind of just deleted it and threw it away because it's just a terrible script. It was just basically me saying that I got the Amex business gold card. So, Red Sox 101. Hey, Luke, who are you voting for in November? We'll see, man. I'm not a super big fan of either one, but I don't really have a choice. I've got to go Republican right now. I've got to go for the Donald. Probably shouldn't answer that because half the people here might be pissed off, but I also have the minerals to go ahead and answer the question, even though we're not a political channel. But I'll be voting for the Donald. Not a big Donald guy, but that's who I'll be voting for. Guys, I asked you on. Let's start with the card. So if you guys follow my channel, you know that I have been super critical of American Express over the last few months, even more so than a lot of other creators that have kind of talked smack about them. I still do not think 99% of folks are getting actual value from the Amex Gold Card. I don't even think it's close. Hey, John R. Red Sox says, okay. But I still do not have the Amex Gold Card. I canceled it. I'm not going back for that one. But here's the crazy thing I noticed about Amex after completely moving away from Amex all year. Now, I've been trying to be a Chase guy. I've been trying to, include Capital One. They've tried to been using my city cards, but I've still earned almost a half a million Amex MR points this year. I've zeroed out that balance twice, and I've still earned almost half a million MR points trying to not earn MR points. And that doesn't include this business gold card, which I want to talk about why I got it. So I noticed that with American Express, there is, for me, and the way I spend and the way I do my business, it's almost a necessary evil to have at least one of those cards with the coupons on it, as much as I can stand. CJ says, "How'd you earn so many MR points?" We'll talk about that. Let's first talk about it. The first thing that happened this year was American Express started giving out these crazy business card bonuses. You've seen 250,000 MR points for the platinum business card. Well, they gave me 150,000 bonus offer on the business platinum card after or right around the time I was canceling my consumer platinum card. I didn't want to use the credits. I didn't think I even needed a platinum card anymore. So I applied and I was approved for the business platinum for the second time. I got 100 and something thousand point bonus a while back, maybe 2 years ago, maybe less. So it was my second business platinum card. I got it for the bonus, no doubt about it. I can use those credits, but I don't care at all about those credits. I got it to pay $700 to get that bonus and to use the Centurion Lounge when I'm by myself. So that's what I got, that 150,000 MR points for that. And then, like 4 weeks after I got the card, if you remember this, American Express had a promotion on their referral offers that you got X amount of MR points for referring someone, but you also got 10 times at restaurants up to 25 grand for 3 months. So I got a card that I didn't ever want to use. I think in the first week I hit the bonus. I had some spend I needed to spend. I hit the bonus. I got 150,000 MR points, and then they told me that they were going to give me 11 points per dollar on dining. So I had to use the business platinum card for 3 months on dining. Coincidentally, I eat a lot, so I was earning there. I got and I can't tell you every last point I earned, but I think I even got another referral, and I don't get very many referrals, especially with Amex. But I think I got another one for that business card, or maybe it was for the Blue Business Plus that I don't use either. So I got it there. And then after I was all completely done with American Express, I zeroed out my points. You guys will laugh at this, I even cashed out a bunch at 1 cent each into my American Express business checking account. I was really walking away from American Express. So last week, I also canceled a Hilton Aspire card. I downgraded it to a free no annual fee card, and then I canceled it so I would have more open Amex slots for just bonus hunting. So that was the path I was on. I was just using and abusing Amex. Well, I log onto my account to pay off the platinum to never use it again. And I had an offer on there for a business gold card. It was an offer specific to me, so I knew it was no lifetime language. And it was 175,000 Amex MR points for just 10,000 in spend. Not the 15, not the 20, because don't think I would go for that because I don't have that kind of spend right now. But 175,000 MR points for $10,000 in spend. That's not even, I won't even think about that. I hate to say no brainer, but I didn't have to use my brain on that one. I think the business gold card is a great 1-year card or a 1-year retention offer 2-year card. And the reason is for 175,000 MR points, I don't have to use any of those stupid credits. I don't have to care about them whatsoever. I can just completely blank out from those, use it for 4 times on gas, 4 times on dining, and just chalk it up. I paid $375 for a ton of MR points. Now, if you don't want to think about it like that, you can try to use the credits. I can use the Walmart Plus membership, and I signed up for it as soon as I re-signed up for it as soon as I got that card. I do shop at Walmart once in a not at Walmart, but I order things from Walmart once in a while. We just did school supplies. So that Walmart Plus membership has value to me. Now, is it $155? No, it's not anywhere near that. But is it $50? Yeah, I'll get $50 value out of that, no problem, for something I already use. Now, if you're familiar with the Business Gold, they have a $20 a month credit that is good for, and this is just off the top of my head, FedEx, Grubhub, or office supply stores. You guys know how I feel about Grubhub. And coincidentally, I have not used a food ordering service since I left the gold card and the consumer platinum card. So I'm not going to use the Grubhub at all. I just hate it. So if I even use those credits, this is my plan. I already go to Staples every once in a while, maybe once a month, once every other month, to grab a couple of Visa gift cards. If you know, you know. But that's how I play some of my Chase game, and that's how I pay some of my utilities and expenses like that, expenses like insurance and things like that. I might use a Visa gift card or two and earn 5 times UR points on that. So I'm already going to Staples once in a while. And if you've ever been at Staples, and I know a lot of people have not, but I'm a coffee drinker, and Staples sells office supplies, which includes coffee. So my plan is just when I'm close to a Staples, I'll walk in there and I will buy a box of coffee, box of K-cups, take them to work. That's that. It's not hard to do. It doesn't take a bunch of brain power or effort. And if I don't do it, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm sorry if that's shaking, guys. I'm trying to. I thought I had some banners set up here. Some cool stuff. There we go. So that is why I got it. And that card's simple. It used to have a 25% bonus, like a rebate with MR points when you purchased flights with Amex. And I used to use it. This is the third time. This is the third American Express Business Gold I've been approved for with a big bonus. So it's plain to me that Amex will not let me quit them. I don't know what kind of relationship this is, but it's one of those things where you can't beat them, join them. And my quest to simplify things is not going well. So in two cases, how do you know when Staples runs the no fee promos? Doctor or credit, some type of notification, something like that. Like I don't do it all the time, and I don't really abuse it. But when I see it, I might run over there and pick up a few. CJ, you're right. They're a secret. And people don't want you talking about it either. And I don't normally anymore, but yeah, so Red Sox 101 is on a roll. Red Sox 101. Why do you choose to try to spark those conversations in a credit card live? There's a lot of different lives you could do that. Craig Staub says, how many Amex Business Gold cards can I get with the same EIN? I don't know. I'm pretty sure you can get more than one. But okay, so now some guys are talking about their strategies, which is fine. Probably not going to talk about it on here, but if you guys want to talk about it amongst yourselves, do your thing. Just know that while I think most of the things you guys are talking about is probably perfectly fine, none of that stuff is a zero risk, probability. It's more than zero. Probably not very risky, but just be careful, guys. Just concerned that you can't buy the open-ended credit card at Staples with the name. Okay, I don't know what the open-ended credit card at Staples is. But for me, it's a $240. Well, if you actually look at the credit, you can get it 13 times in a year. So if that matters to you, you can get a $20 box of coffee 13 times. So I can, and listen, I am super critical of these credits. I drink coffee every day. Whatever that box of and Staples coffee is not overpriced. It's actually pretty low. So I could value that at face value if I'm in the neighborhood. I'm not going to make a special trip there. So, I mean, okay, CJ, that's a great question. Where do I plan to go with all those points? That's going to be the second part of this whole thing. I just booked a redemption that I think you guys might really like. And the irony of it is, this is my fourth booking for my solo trip in January. I keep canceling my booking, and I'll explain why in just a minute. Let's let me see here. All right. All right. So that's why I got the Amex Business Gold. And let's be honest, it earns 4 times on your 2 highest categories. Now, do I wish it was dining in grocery stores? Sure. But it is dining. And I don't know. And here's another thing I like about it. I don't think anybody mentions this. And I don't think the card always had cell phone protection, but the card has the Amex cell phone protection. So it's a good cell phone protection. And cell phone services are a bonus category. Now, I know a lot of you guys don't spend a ton of money a month on cell phone services, but this is one of those examples where not only does it have the cell phone protection, but you can earn 4 times on it. Now, your bill and your earnings probably won't outweigh that annual fee for this card, but I'm just saying it's not a bad way to pay your cell phone bill. If John says if gaming the credits is where someone is gaining value from Amex cards, you need to close your accounts. Amex isn't for you. John, I'll agree with you in part. If one enjoys gaming the credits to get value, then Amex is all about absolutely for them. And I know when I first got the gold card, I thought those credits were the bee's knees. I thought it was great. I thought I was just killing it. I was having fun, and I got tired of it. But I agree with you that if you have the gold card, you should be spending enough on dining and groceries to almost sometimes forget about the credits if you don't use them organically, which everybody says they do, but come on. M2K says frequent miler mentioned you can book Virgin Cruises with Virgin points. Yeah, you can. I accidentally did that not too long ago. They also mentioned that if you hit redeem points, there is no fail safe. If you get like a pop up or an advertisement for Virgin Cruises and you have a ton of Virgin points and you look at it and you click that button redeem, poof, those Virgin points are gone. And they'll send you to a page where you can purchase your cruise. I didn't want to go on a cruise. I don't want to go on a Virgin cruise either. Not just because I'm too old, but I'm just not ready to be a cruiser. So it took me 2 or 3 phone calls, 2 or 3 emails to get those points back. They didn't want to give me my points back until after the cruise expired in October. So be careful with the Virgin cruises as far as points. I think it was an amazing value though. What the cruise price and the value was for the points, amazing redemption. Okay, so what's the points? Amex phone insurance read it only covers phones bought through the carrier. I don't know what that means, but if you mean that you bought the phone off some guy in a back alley and then activated it through Boost Mobile, then you might be right. I don't know, but the only way I get a phone is through the carrier. So I'm not smart enough to do all the unlocking and all that good stuff. Cesar Joel is in the house. What's up, man? Um, all right, so we're doing. So why I got the business gold? Real simple. I got it for the bonus. Like CJ asked, what are you going to do with all that MR points? I'll get to that. Phil Mo says, Luke, you're going to make it to NOLA after your coaching debut. Here's the deal. We were supposed to go to NOLA on Friday. Well, flag football started. We got the schedule. They have a game at 10 a.m. Saturday. So I rescheduled our flight for, I think it's 2 p.m. Saturday. It's 2 towns away, the airport. So if I can coach this game in an hour, have everything packed up, and leave the game from there, I have a chance of making that flight. And I will probably be late for the meetup, which is to say that odds are I'll just be a little late, but I'll be there. But there's a chance I don't make it at all. Fingers crossed, right? That's how busy my life is right now. I'm packing for stuff and leaving from it and move. It's you guys know what I'm talking about. Everybody's busy. I know I'm not the only one. My family wants to plan a trip to Ireland. What airline do you recommend? Honestly, you can fly there on a few different airlines, but I don't know where you're flying from. So there's no way for me to really answer this question for you. For me, I found flights from Columbus to Philadelphia to Dublin for 45,000 American airline miles in business class. So if I were to fly to Ireland next week, that's what I would use. Cesar, have you ever canceled a Flying Blue flight? Yes, a bunch. Flying Blue takes a piece. I don't know what. I'm not sure exactly. Do they take $50 or $35 or what? Flying Blue will take a piece and refund you your points back, but it can be expensive. British Airways also takes a piece. I think it's $50. I just canceled a British Airways flight today, and how much? Okay, we're in there 23 minutes. Let me Ben E says his current plan with a business goal is one and done. Yeah, you want to do a one and done, but they might give you 40 or 50,000 MR points to keep it open another year. And I think it. Oh, Jacob's from Jacob's Points and Profit, great channel. If you haven't watched his stuff, I'm a big fan because I like the way he does his business, and he is legit because him and his wife travel all over the world all the time, so he's no poser. He says Flying Blue takes 70 euros now each ticket that you cancel or change. That's expensive. Is it like $75, $76? That's expensive. I just used Flying Blue today, so. Yeah, Phil Mo says Virgin takes $50. Here's the Anthony James says this channel is his favorite. Thank you, Anthony. Appreciate the kind words. I don't get a bunch of kind words anymore. And he's in Destin. I got a buddy in Destin right now. But back to what Jacob said, Flying Blue, or no, I'm sorry, Phil Mo. Here's the catch with those guys that if you only book like you book Virgin, you book a Delta flight, and it's only $5.60. That's the only money they can take from you. Like they're not going to charge you the $50. They'll take the $5.60 and refund your points. So if you can keep those redemptions to the minimum taxes and fees, you can kind of get by that $50. Okay, so yeah, I mean, back to Jacob's point, that's expensive. And what I found out, so let me segue into this story. So canceling flights is expensive. So this is every year I say try to take a solo trip. Now, whether that means I meet my Navy buddy overseas somewhere, or if I take my dad with me, those have been what I consider solo trips. What's up, Chad's Money Minutes? You didn't miss anything, man. We've been waiting on you. But this year, I decided I'm going somewhere by myself. I want to do the thing. I want to do some work. I want some like somewhat isolation. I want to force myself to get out there and mingle with locals. So I want to do it a little bit differently this time. Let me see if I have. We're going to talk a little bit about Air France. I want to go out there and kind of force myself out of my comfort zone and maybe do something different. So the first trip I planned, I did a video on most of these redemptions, which is ironic because I tell people I cancel at least half of the redemptions I make, I cancel. And that's why I know they're really expensive. The first trip was to Lima, Peru. If you guys remember, I did a video about that. I wanted to go to Lima, Peru, and I was going to be flying Latam from Atlanta to Lima in business class. And I booked that through Alaska Miles, 34,000 Alaska Miles for lie flat seat business class. It's a good redemption. And I was going to be staying at I think the Hilton down there. So that was a great, and I really do want to go. I don't know why I canceled that one, but I did. And if I remember why, I'll tell you. Ian Mascow just gifted 5 memberships. Guys, with the memberships, they are, if you want to continue with your membership, it's $2.99 a month. Cancel anytime. Right now, memberships are getting priority replies for all comments on my channel. I'm still replying to almost all comments anyway, but they're also getting a day early for my maximum value redemptions. And I plan on doing a few more of those really soon. Those videos don't do well overall, so I plan on maybe just putting them in the members only file just for that, because they really require the most amount of work for the least amount of reward. Like, people in this game seem to not really like those redemption videos. I know some of you hardcore guys do. John Feeney just hit us with a super chat with $5, and he says the DOJ has approved the Alaska-Hawaiian merger. I don't have thoughts with that because I don't know what that looks like. People are asking, is it time to load up on Hawaiian Airlines miles so we can have some really valuable Alaskan airline miles? I don't know. From what I understand, they're going to be using one reward program. So I guess if you really load up on Hawaiian airline miles, you should have a plan for those if they don't become super valuable, because Alaskan miles are very valuable. So, and also it gives us another way to gain those currencies. Barclays has the Hawaiian cards if you're interested. Yeah, CJ, Lima. Lima looks like a super cool place, big time food. It just looked like, and it's a place I would never go. That's why I picked that. But I canceled it. Don't know why, I did. So the second thing I booked, this is the third time I've booked Japan, and I found a deal with American Airlines on JAL, JAL, and I booked Tokyo. And I said, man, I can't wait to go Tokyo solo. That's so awesome. So you guys have to remember, this is January, so the time of year might not be the best place to go to a lot of places. It's also solo, and I have to factor in, I can't go anywhere for a very long time. 4, 5, and 6 days. 6 days would be really pushing it for me, but 4 or 5 days is all the time I can be away. You know, my main job is being a dad, so I'm not going to be gone for a long time. And I booked it through American Airlines, and I was going to stay at the Conrad and the Hilton in Tokyo. 2 great properties from what I understand. Yeah, Cesar says he stopped doing redemption videos because people don't watch them. They just don't. I mean, they're fun. And then not only do they not watch them, they either think you're obsessed with a cents per point value, or that's the only thing that matters to you, when it's definitely not. But if you do get great cents per point, it's fun to mention it because it just makes the whole redemption better. Back to Japan. I had to call Japan Airlines to get my seats. As I'm calling them, the lady's explaining to me the seat layout, and it's a 777. And I'm sitting there looking at this seat layout like, I don't want to sit next to someone. When I fly business class for that long, I want my own kind of space. Well, the 777 for Japan Airlines is configured in a way, I'm sure it's a great experience, but I don't want to sit next to somebody. And the way they're kind of situated is something I wasn't interested in doing for 12 and a half hours or 13 hours or whatever. So I told the lady, I said, hey, that's how those seats are. She goes, yeah, that's exactly how they are. She goes, you'll be right next to someone. I go, okay, cancel that. Not doing it. A little too far for me to go for 4 or 5 days anyway. So that was number 2. What was number 3, Luke? So we went from Lima to Tokyo to Madrid, Spain. I actually contacted JP Knowledge because I know he's been there, and I asked him about the Thompson Hyatt Hotel in Madrid. Says it was great. I go, you know what? I looked at the weather, high 40s, low 50s, mid 50s in January in Madrid. That's fine for me. I'm a Midwestern guy. So I book. This was where this hurts that I couldn't get this. I booked Iberia Airlines through British Airways Avios. 35,000 British Airways Avios each way in business class. It's a really good redemption. Really good. Iberia's business class isn't ranked all that high amongst its peers, but 35,000 Avios, and I wanted to get rid of these daggone Avios. And I booked the Thompson. Rick Beck just hit us with a $2 super chat, and he likes the max value videos. Well, Rick, we'll keep on doing them. You might be the only one that watches them, but you'll get something out of them. Okay, so 35,000 British Airways Avios each way in business class. Book the Thompson. It's right next to the Grand Via, the main drag there in Madrid. Food, castles, all the cool stuff in Spain. So again, I get online and I go to Iberia because I booked it with British Airways. I waited a couple of days to get the confirmation number and all that good stuff. Logistically, this was pretty easy, so I didn't have to call anyone. I went to Iberia's website, punched in the confirmation numbers, went to go pick the seats. Apparently, I picked the only business class from North America to Europe that doesn't have lie flat seats. It was just the regular, like European business class with regular seats with nobody sitting in the middle. And I'm sitting there thinking, Iberia from Boston to Madrid, CJ. And I'm thinking, I am not sitting in a regular seat all the way overseas. That's not why I'm in this game. I don't deserve to live like that. You know what I mean? So I said, you know what? I really, really wanted to go to Madrid. That's 3. I canceled it. That's 3. So I put in the community post to guess, where I'm going, and I'm gonna read some of these guesses because they're really good guesses. Really good. Let me see here. I'm looking at my phone. I'm not texting. I'm looking at this community post because there were some really good guesses, and I appreciate the people taking the time to guess. Basa Indian said, you're finally going to take that solo trip to Colombia. Really good guess, because I had talked about going to Cartagena in January. The artist says somewhere sunny. He's guessing Australia on Air Canada. I can't go all the way to Australia. It's too far. I don't have enough time. Filmo says Barbados. That was in my brain. Leo Peretta says Ritz-Carlton South Beach. You guys know I'm a sucker for South Florida, my favorite place. Ian says I'm going to an island. Delhi Belly, I'm sorry, Las Vegas. Jessica Holmes says Japan. Andrew Beach says Pittsburgh, which you guys know did you guys know the birds fly upside down in Pittsburgh? Does anybody know why? We'll come back to that. Airborne Backpacker says the Maldives. You know what? I never, ever mention the Maldives on my channel. And I know a lot of YouTubers criticize other YouTubers for constantly bringing up the Maldives. You've never heard me say I want to go there because I don't. What would I do there? Sit in a hammock all day and swing by the water? No. Another one for the Caribbean, Bermuda. Those are all great ideas. So take a second and punch in. Where do you think I'm going? Because I booked it all today and I booked it all super quick. And I don't think I got the best deal in the world, but I got a pretty good deal overall. Let me see here. Whoops. Well, he said, what was the cancellation plan for Iberia? I actually canceled it through British Airways, and British Airways took $50. I booked 2 one-ways, and the taxes and fees I think were 120 on the first one and 250 for the second one, something like that. 250 for the way back. British Airways took $50 out of both of them and refunded the points, which stings. It does, but I'm not sitting in that seat. Bora Bora, Bahamas. Bahamas is a good guess. Puerto Rico, strong contender. I really thought about Puerto Rico. I thought about Dubai. Hamburg, too cold, I think. Italy, I'm taking my wife and kid to Italy in June. So Ron says DR, great guess. Michael Pythium, Croatia. I was really close to going around there, but that's pretty cold. London, David Trezil. London was the finalist. Germany, London, Hawaii. Hawaii's far. Bora Bora, that's really far. Toledo. If you're saying Toledo, Ohio, no. Or Toledo, Spain, no. Costa Rica was a finalist. Cayman Islands, great. These are all, but nobody's got it yet. And I know I've mentioned this on my channel before. Egypt, Greece, Monaco, it's too big league for Aunt Connie. You're absolutely right, Julius. All right. Okay. How do I want to, okay, I'm Hilton Sorrento Palace. I almost booked that. It's an amazing property in Italy. I didn't book that. I booked the Waldorf Cavalieri or whatever it's called. Turks, Patagonia, all you guys those are super, super guesses. So I booked a Air France flight to Marrakesh, if I even spelled that right. I think I did. To Marrakesh, Morocco. I've never been to Africa unless you count. I don't think I've ever technically been to Morocco. So I always wanted to go to Africa, and Morocco is a kind of a unique place, I think. So that's what I picked, and I kind of want to explain how I did it. Great Wolf Lodge, I like that. Antigua, Istanbul. Rick, we're going to Istanbul in June, so I can't go, but I would like to go to Istanbul. So, but Marrakesh, Morocco. CJ would never guess it. It's just, MR says he was in North Africa for most of last summer. Hope you like the dry heat and the camels. I'm not a huge fan of camels, but it's January, so I think it's going to be in the 60s. So I can 60s and sunny will probably be a great respite from this Ohio river or weather. But this was my dilemma. The first thing I thought of was I can book American Airlines miles to Marrakesh, but that has me connecting in Casablanca. And okay, David Williams says Morocco, the weather is exactly the same as California. MR was in Tunisia. Oh, nice. But I looked at the American Airlines booking because I have a good stash of American Airlines miles. And CJ, I don't think you have to get anything different. Not that I know of. I'll find out, but I don't think you need any additional shots. But American Airlines miles has me, you can go from New York to Casablanca to Morocco. Every flight I saw, which was great priced points-wise, miles-wise, but they had me sitting for 4 hours in Casablanca airport. So I looked at Air France, and the times were about the same, but it was only a couple hours or less in the Paris airport. Now, I've been to the Paris airport, and I understand that logistically, it's a challenge. It's a tough airport to connect. But I figured I always want to save those American Airlines miles because they're so valuable and so versatile. Ian asked how I'm earning them. I'm earning them through the shopping portal, through dining, and through the Simply Miles program. And I think if you hit that pretty hard, you can get a good stash quickly. Lynn London says we tricked him. Morocco is not is about the same as Spain. So I mean, it's a little bit southern, it's a little bit south of that, but it's not super far. It's about the same as Western Europe. But with Air France, I will fly from New York to Paris, straight to Marrakesh. I don't have to stop in Casablanca. And I just really like using Flying Blue miles. Now, the trick there is, the catch there is Flying Blue has high fees. And I want to explain how high these fees are for this particular booking. So, but here's the other catch. Normally when I do a redemption, I have to find a redemption from JFK to point B. This one, I just searched Columbus, Ohio to Marrakesh, and it gave me this option. A few more Flying Blue miles than I probably could have spent if I chopped it up. But having that entire itinerary, all the same booking, is going to give me a little bit of convenience. I think it was 60, no, 72,000 Flying Blue miles for the one way there. And that sounds like a lot, but like I said, normally I could get maybe 55,000 from New York to Paris. And then it'd probably be a little bit more for the Marrakesh leg. But this is Columbus, New York, Paris, Marrakesh. So, and I think it was, oh, 200 over, just over $200 in taxes and fees. That is expensive for one way over there. But I want to go to Marrakesh. And I've flown Air France. JP Knowledge is in the house. JP Knowledge has flown Air France. It is a solid product. So I think it's a good way to go. I like Flying Blue miles. I like earning them. I like redeeming them. The website, sorry, guys, scratch. The website is easy to navigate and it works. So that was the price for over there. For the way back, it was much cheaper, much cheaper in miles, more expensive in cash. But I want to say 55,000 or 50,000 Flying Blue miles from Marrakesh, Paris to New York. I did have to find my own ride home from New York, which I actually did with 6,000 American airline miles. 6,000. That's how much those short haul American Airlines are right now with American Airlines. 6,000 miles. It's so cheap. So, not bad. I did do the entire calculations with it, and I got 3.6 cents per point. Which is good. I think it's good. Oh, by the way, it was over $300 to fly back with taxes and fees. So all in all, I think it was $620 for a free flight. That's why you hear me say I spend more money on free travel than I do anything else. I just do. That's a ton of money for a free flight. However, that flight, even when you book it as a round trip, if the cheapest I could find booking it as a round trip on Air France's website was $5,400. So a lot of moving parts. It's a lot of travel. It's a good product. It's $5,400 cash price. I got it for $620 and a bunch of points. I think it was maybe like 120,000, 130,000 Flying Blue miles. But you guys know we get a lot of Flying Blue bonuses throughout the year. So, yeah, like CJ said, it's quite a bit of money. But if that's the kind of travel you want to do, still doing good. Now, here's the thing. Marrakesh, Morocco. I could take an economy flight with American Airlines, sit at Casablanca. I don't have any idea what that airport's like, but I'm sure it's not great. I could sit around at Casablanca, or I could take a bus for 5 hours from Casablanca to Marrakesh, and I could stay in a $50 a night hostel or cheap hotel. I could do all this for a very low price. I could do this super cheap. But you guys know your uncle does not live like that. That Air France business class is nice. It is. They have a great soft product. They have great food. And like Cesar says, Flying Blue is strong, man. You pay that money, but you do get that product. And like he says, everybody transfers to them. Lots of bonuses. I have a Flying Blue credit card. I really don't mind paying that. JP Knowledge says Air France is solid. And guys, when I highlight some of these guys, I know they know what they're talking about. I know they do. John R's redeemed them for October. Where are you going in October, John? You going back to Iceland? Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I can't. Free travel isn't free. Yeah, like John R says, I'm not in this game to fly coach over the ocean. It ain't gonna happen, man. It's not going. I don't have any problem with people that can do it. And if I was younger, I would probably sit in the back because my body could take it. I'm 47 years old. I don't deserve to sit back here with those youngsters. Nicole, she's, Air France has great food. They have great bread. I don't know. I just remember that. I really remember the bread in the Air France lounge. Serge, Air France, Paris to Denver. Nicole was a clean plater. Good job, Nicole. Oh, see, JP just booked Air France business class to return from Lisbon. Now, see, I'm going to Lisbon for spring break, and we hit that Tap Portugal deal, that sweet spot with Tap Portugal. And I can't wait to talk about that once we do it, because like I almost felt. Tell me if I'm weird. Tell me if it sounds weird to you. I almost felt bad for booking Air France because I've already flown it. I wanted to book something else like Iberia or what was Latam or what was a Japan. I want to book something different just so I could talk about it and kind of spread the word. So I almost feel bad for flying Air France again, but not bad enough not to really enjoy it. Cesar knows it, man. Adam J's kids are always and they sneeze and cough and they play their tablets with no headphones on. You don't want to be sitting anywhere near Adam J's kids at all, guys. Yeah, Beefy Brian. I that would be super good if I had more time, but like I said, that's one of the kind of restrictions I have with my travel. I don't have a bunch of time at once. Now I can take a lot of trips, but they have to be short. Okay, so Donald says I don't know if I don't know if there's a bunch of Hilton properties in Marrakesh because there's not a bunch of chains. I'm going to tell you where I'm staying. I don't know if I have a banner for it or not. Oh yeah, I'm going to tell you what this thing's called because I never heard of this place. So if you want to look it up because it looks really, really cool. If you're not familiar, um, Gary Daniel says, Luke, do you still have the Amex Business Gold? I just got it. I just got it for a third time. But this hotel I'm staying at, if you guys are familiar with Marrakesh, they have riads, which riad is like a traditional hotel. It's a square building with like only like 8 or 10 rooms, and the middle part is open and it has a pool or a garden or atrium or something in there, and kind of all those rooms kind of open up to it. So it's African. It's super northern African. It's got tiles, mosaics, and they're really traditional type properties. And this is a Mr. and Mrs. Smith booking out of Hyatt, and this one is called the Riyadh Siwan. Like I'll put it. Let me put it. I'm going to put it in the chat. Siwan. I don't know. And obviously, I'm a Midwesterner, so maybe I won't say it right. But if you want to look that up, it is not cheap. But that's where I'm going to be staying. It's close to like the attractions and all that good stuff. And it comes with a full Moroccan breakfast, which I'm not the most adventurous eater in the world, but you can best bet that we're going to try the full Moroccan breakfast. It's a big room, so I can get some work done. I can, so I'm really happy about that. And I really, really don't want to cancel this one. JP's got a question. What did you do for a return flight from Portugal? Air France was the best deal unless I wanted to fly it alone. I did Tap Air Portugal on both of them. And I booked those through Avianca Life Miles. And I have the Avianca Life Miles credit card, and I'm a subscriber to their program, so I get a 10% rebate. It came out to it came out to a really good redemption as far as I'm concerned. But here's what you have to look at when I'm doing these redemptions. It's 3 people. So when I say, hey, man, I just booked business class flights, I only spent 300,000 points. That's good for me, both ways. So I spent a ton of life miles, but and I know Tap Air Portugal is not widely considered a great business class product, but I wanted to do it. I wanted to try it out. I did not know this. Pain in the butt. There's a business class lounge and access to priority pass. That's decent. Okay. No, David, that's not what I'm saying. It's the C1. It's a Mr. and Mrs. Smith through Hyatt booking. Um, yeah, Gary, I do like the the points accumulations for sure. Uh, Thomas Hapiak, I remember. Trip to Morocco in 26. I only think I know someone. Yeah, David. Someone said that they were there during the summertime. I know it's super hot in the summertime, and I don't want to pretend to know I know a whole lot about the city or the country, but it's definitely different. It's definitely somewhere you can go in January. It's not going to be super hot, but it shouldn't be very cold. And I'm probably going to wear an Indiana Jones costume at least one day, even though I know that was Egypt. I don't care. It just feels right. But it's a different place. Like I said, it's going to get me out of my comfort zone. Going by myself, I can't just stay in the room and do work. I actually have to go do stuff. I'm going to schedule like some tours and stuff. So I'll be like the odd person out. I'll be the creepy old man on the tour. So it'll force me to really socialize. Todd just hit us with a $4 super chat. Thank you, sir. Happy to finally catch a live stream live. Well, Todd, we absolutely appreciate you 100%. Thank you for the super chat and thanks for stopping by. Like to see more benefits on the Biz Gold before I get it. Yeah, it's the card does not make any. I wonder what Amex's stats are with that card as far as canceling after the first year. If it is the most canceled card after year one, it has to be. What the points? I booked the JAL Biz class myself, solo on American Airlines next year. I did notice the seats are really close together, and I talked to I went Wong Way Travels. He said that the 777 is not a great seat. That you need the A350, and I was like, oh, I did, just one of those things. This game's hard, guys. There's a lot of little tiny details in this game that are sure to cost you $50 once in a while. Oh yeah, that's Sawan Hotel. Yeah, that's legit, dude. That's so. I mean, I'm going in Air France business class, which is appropriate because France colonized Northern Africa and Morocco for quite a few years. So I'm flying the French business class and staying in the super nice Moroccan style Riyadh hotel. I'm really happy about it, CJ. Oh, Craig got a second business gold. Auto approved 200,000 sign 200K sign up bonus. Nice work, Craig. JP's doing tap going there, 35,000 before the devaluation. Very solid deal. Absolutely, man. You need to get to Africa. Yeah, man. Meet me in January. We're gonna be in giant Riyadh and probably we're gonna have a big giant Moroccan breakfast, and you're welcome to sit at the table and share with a big Moroccan breakfast. Does business class get you in the lounge, or do you have Sky Team stuff? Beefy Brian, when you buy a now, and we're talking about Air France in particular. I know Air France either has started or they are going to start selling business class seats kind of a la carte, meaning your business class seat might not come with lounge access. Mine does, and I think so. Yeah, so mine does, but I think they're either talking about or they already started selling business class seats with maybe not the lounge access, or you'd have to pay more for that, which I think is bunk. That's stupid. But I also have Air France silver status or whatever, so I don't know what that does. The Biz Gold was recently refreshed. Yeah, it sucks. But it's got a gigantic sign up bonus, and you can earn a lot of points in a year. I guess a lot relatively. Yeah, it's not getting refreshed. Oh yeah. And Kid Cat, this is apparently I've already watched a couple YouTube videos on really cool places to get coffee. So that's another reason. Big coffee drinker. And I've never just going to Africa. I know it's not maybe the Africa we think of but if you want to see, here's a good plug for a good guy. If you want to see like Central, Western, and Eastern Africa, check out Travel Connect, the channel Travel Connect. He does a points and miles lifestyle, goes to Africa all the time. He goes to these places I've never heard of. He does the kind of travel vlog type deal, but he's also a points and miles guy. So Travel Connect, he's got two channels. I hate to say it, but I can't remember what the other one's called. But you can find them both once you look up Travel Connect. Big time African videos. I want to go with him sometime. He's a retired Air Force guy, so I can just tell he's all right, even though he's an Air Force guy. But yeah, if you want to do that kind of Africa, I would suggest checking it out. Yeah, JP A350. You can book it with Asia Miles the day it opens award space. Super hard to book with A since they don't. Okay. Well, I mean, I may have to figure out a different way to do it, or maybe just sit in those seats. Scott LeRae. I'm sorry. Yeah, great. Thanks, MR. Scott LeRae. That's Travel Connect. Scott LeRae. So I want to say Scott LeRae might be his travel vlog channel, and Travel Connect might be his points and miles channel. Either way, big time dude, big time African adventures. Very cool. Yeah, JP, the A350 man is the way to go. Richard Debs also does a bunch of Africa travel. Not sure who that is. Yeah, Xavier's watching. Has watched Travel Connect. Air Force for the win, baby. You don't really say that, do you? You guys in the Air Force don't actually tell people you were in the Air Force, do you? Mr. Daniel, you'd love to hear my take on the personal gold refresh. I have some videos on it. I've been critical of it. I canceled it. I canceled it before the refresh. Could I ever have the card again? Sure, but and I have kind of gone back and forth. And actually, John R did a video the other day that really sparked what I kind of think I've always known. If you are running just an Amex setup, then those coupons and those credits and those little things don't bother you. It's really only when you get into the 25, 30 card setups to where those things start to kind of get fuzzy and you start not wanting to take advantage of them all. When I only ran an Amex setup with an Outlander, no foreign transaction fee, Visa or MasterCard, I never had a problem with the credits. I only started having a problem with the credits when I got too many, what do you call it, irons in the fire. I had too many cards to worry about it, and I got mad at Amex. So you could see me coming back to the gold, but not right now. Not right now. Look, have you been to a rainforest yet? No. I have not. So that's something else we're gonna have to do before I get too old and fat. I can't walk around. I have no shame sitting in a chair for my country. Air Force guys, man, they're not. That's a good way to go, man. Really good way to go. John R, like to shout out. Check out John R stuff. Um, Guys, these smaller channels and these newer channels, sometimes they're a real lifesaver to watch just to get a different perspective, even if it's the same one you've had. Just to hear it from someone else's point of view. Sometimes it's great to look at these smaller creators or these up and comers and stuff like that, because none of us know everything. You're right, man. Yeah, we used to go to Langley to eat. We used to drive all the way to Langley to eat lunch because the Air Force had such much better food. Thank you for your service. 153,000 MR points, grocery and dining. Now that is big league. That is going to be worth the annual fee if you don't use any credits at all. So Kid Kat is definitely doing it correctly. Here. All right. So guys, that is okay. Michael Pithy. Let's see what do you think about them supposedly adding gas in grocery stores to the 7-time category in the Aspire card? That's not something I've heard. Um, and you're talking about a card that's already overpowered. If you put 7 times gas and groceries, oh man, like there's going to be a lot of free Hilton nights in people's futures. That would keep that card in dudes' wallets because you're going to do 7 times on dining, gas, and grocery. All the perks, all the big time statuses. That would be a number one card for a lot of folks. And now you could argue all you want that 4 MR points is better than 7 Hilton points. But I see. Yeah, that's a big time proposition. I don't think that's going to happen unless that annual fee goes up to 750 or something. But if it did, I would be going. I would be calling for the upgrade for sure, and I would get that card would get worn out. Absolutely, that would be amazing. Ricky's Travel Hacking wants to know who all's going to the Big Easy next weekend. I hope to see all you guys for sure. Now, Thomas, I've not seen that. What is that on a? I got an email yesterday. See, I don't know, man. I have not heard it. I have not heard that. Call Me Lonnie's in the house. You guys have not checked out Lonnie's channel. You better get on board before he becomes too big to even talk to you. He is going to be one of those 100,000, 200,000 subscriber guys, and it's going to be too big for all of us little guys soon. So catch him now. Chad, did you get times 7? I've not heard that. Well, I also downgraded my Aspire card. So now, if that's the case, your uncle's going to be upgrading. Absolutely. So, guys, that's my 2 events. I actually scripted out a video about these 2 things, and I thought I kind of felt like new cards and new redemptions kind of belonged on a live. It's just so you, hey, what do you think about this? Let me look at that. Kid Cat just hit us with a 10 spot. Big leaguer. Make sure you guys sub to Uncle Luke and all the creators in the chat if you haven't already. Kid Cat, appreciate the love, man. That's very nice of you, and I appreciate the super thanks. But I think new cards and redemptions, besides the max value part, I think they're better to do in a live. And tell me what you guys think of moving the max value redemptions over to the members and maybe just doing a members live. To me, it's maybe that might not be the best idea because I do like to do screenshots of actually doing the redemption, but maybe something along those lines. No change in the terms and conditions. I want to know because I definitely want to upgrade to an Aspire if I'm getting times 7 on all those categories for sure. So yeah, I did made a video on these topics and just kind of scrapped it. I know some people like the lives better, and we have had a lot of people in this live. I think we've had up to 160 people, which is high for me. That's probably my peak. And a lot of times when I go later, it might go up, but your boy needs his beauty sleep, and I go to bed. I go to sleep at 9 o'clock. So I don't think I have anything else for you guys today, but I really appreciate everybody showing up. And we've been on for an hour. I think that's a pretty decent live. I don't like to be the guy who, kind of goes on and on and on. I don't know. Yeah, the Google shareholders do value me, I think. I don't know. They might. I don't have any stock in Google, so they do pay. They did pay me yesterday, so payday was yesterday. So maybe that has something to do with it. Ben E's got a good point. Watching Prime Video via the Navy Federal Credit Union flagship. There is the Navy Federal flagship card gives you a free year of Amazon Prime, and legend has it that if you pay your Amazon Prime membership with it, it may continue to rebate that payment every year. I love Navy Federal Credit Union. I have the flagship. It's amazing. And it would seem like we have a bunch of veterans here, so everybody should have the Navy Federal Credit Union. All right, guys. Uh-oh. Michael says, "You watching the Bengals game tonight?" Here's the thing, Michael. I don't really value preseason, and I have a really hard time watching the night games. I will be there on the home opener in all orange. So I think that'll be enough for me. We went to the first preseason game, me and my little boy, and he had a blast, but probably going to miss it tonight. One of my main things in life is to really prioritize sleep. Um, so probably not. I might check it out a little bit. Have you gotten a bonus again on the person? No, I don't have the personal Amex Gold card. Um, if they ever have a no lifetime language and a big offer, I'll probably get it for the offer. Not going to lie, I can hate it all I want. See, how many figures was that YouTube? No, I don't get paid a lot from YouTube. It was. Um, I don't get paid. I don't get paid anywhere near the creators of my size because I don't maximize the ad revenue. I don't you can manually put the ads when you want them in there, or you can let YouTube do it. I don't bother it. I'll probably will bother that once I hit a certain number of subscribers, but I try to keep that light. I think people like it when there's less ads. So I don't make enough money from YouTube for it to be worth it. I do. Don't get me wrong. I don't do this for free, but and I make enough to where this is a part-time job now. So I guess I could just answer the question, but I'm not sure. I want to say it was $900. I think I got paid $900 from YouTube yesterday for the entire last month. So last month I made $900 from AdSense. How is the white gold card design? Fletch. I like that name, but I don't know. I don't have it. I got the regular gold, the traditional gold. Thank you, Ron. Mr. Mendez just got the CSR, way better than Amex. That's nice. I actually have the CSR too. I'm still on the fence with it, man. I still have to renew it. Red Sox. Yeah, the white gold is meh. Here's the funny thing. You mentioned the rose gold. My intention was to get a rose gold business card, but when I applied for it, the little option where you choose which one you want, it was so small, I just went right by it and forgot it. And I tried to chat with them to change it to the rose gold. And I said, you have to chat with us tomorrow. And I just said, you know what, forget it. All right, guys. It is 8:08. This is going to be a short one. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up for tonight. But all of you that showed up tonight, I appreciate you. And I hope to see you back 2 weeks from now on the next live, every other Thursday. And if you stayed all the way to the end, thank you. We'll see you tonight. Good night, guys. Let me see if I can do one of these fancy things here or not. There we go.